Hello, this is Running Robert, and today we are doing something completely different. We are going to be doing some coding. So I picked up trying to learn some Unity over probably the last year, and there's definitely just some issues I've had with it, or trying to learn from scratch how to do all this stuff. So what we're going to do is we are going to, over the next couple weeks, make a very simple game to get you guys started. And yeah, today we are going to be focusing on a very simple movement script. So what we're going to do is we went to Unity, we went to New, we're going to do just a 2D game to create, and this is what we have. So if you're unfamiliar with Unity, this is pretty much how it starts. It's pretty simple. I would suggest going on some tutorial, but for what we're doing today, it's very simple. We're just going to make a player and a movement. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to right click, and we're going to make a new 2D sprite. So what you see here is our sprite is right there. However, our game screen, there's absolutely nothing there because we actually need to make the sprite itself. So we'll go over here to sprite. And what we're going to be doing is finding what we want to use. So I'm going to use the knob or the circle. And you can see right here, we have it in there. That's a little bit small. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go around and we're going to make it larger. Okay. We're going to slightly move it. We're going to hit play. We're going to see what we get. So yeah, now we have a player. So what we're going to do is we're going to rename this to player. And up here, we're actually going to make the tag as the player. So a lot of this stuff will come in handy later, but we're just going to start it now. Okay, so a couple things that we need to add for components. So I need to add a box collider 2D, which is going to tell me that anything that collides in this area is going to trigger it. So we have nothing at the moment, but we're going to put that on. We also need a rigid body 2D. Rigid body is going to help with the physics part of it. So when we press play here, all of a sudden we see, whoop, where did I go? So at the moment we have gravity turned on. So we are going to turn him off. We are also going to make him have a little bit more mass. When we press play now, perfect, nothing happens. Okay, so now that we have that basic stuff taken care of, we actually need to start the movement script. So we're going to go to add component, and we're going to add a new script. So we are just going to say PlayerMove as our new script. Scripts will come down here, and it's going to be attached right here to the player. So what we're going to do is we're going to edit the script. So I'm using Visual Studio for this. It's pretty simple. So what we are going to do is up here, the basics is just what Unity is using. This is our behavior script. Void start is this pretty much what happens at the beginning of the first frame. At the moment, we don't need to use that, but we are going to use this void update, which update is called once per frame. So first thing we're going to do is make a basic movement script. So we're going to use the if command. So if, you gotta make sure you're very precise with how you put stuff in. So Input.GetKey. And so what we're going to use is our normal key code, or normal key that we use for this, KeyCode.D. So this is saying that if you get this key, which is D, something's going to happen. Right now, we don't have anything that is going to happen. We can get rid of that. So what we're going to do is have to make something happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these brackets. So if this happens, what is going to happen is what we're going to put in here. So we are going to use a very simple Transform.position. And we're going to do plus or equal to. So what we're going to do right here is just use vector 3. Right. So what it's saying here is that I'm going to move this position. When I press D, I'm going to move this to the right. But we need more components of that. So we're going to move it to the right at a speed, and I'm just going to pick a speed of 5. So this is going to move speed of 5 every time. Okay, so boom. So what this is saying is when I move D, I'm going to move the position to the right by 5 for every frame every second. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and save that frame right there. We're going to go back to Unity, and we're going to see if this works. So I'm hit D, and there we go, and we're out of here. So there you go. Simple script, pretty basic. So, but now we need a game. In a game, we need to move more than just in one direction. So what we're going to do here, and since we've already made this code and we don't have to change much to it, we're just going to copy and paste. So we're going to go here. So now we're going to say if our input code is A, we're going to move to the left. We're going to go down around here. If our input code is W, we are going to move up. And then if our input code, oh, I gotta make sure, see, I took away my brackets. Can't do that. So you gotta make sure you're very careful with what you're bracketing. If you're worried about where your brackets are, you click here, everything is in this bracket. So make sure my brackets look good. Perfect. Okay, so let's try this again. If our input code is S, we are gonna move down. Okay, so that's my basic code. So the big thing is you have to follow this very precisely. If it does not work, it will not like it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you that in a second. So first we're going to do is we're going to hit play. So we're going to go back. We're going to hit play. There's one direction. There's another one, up and down. We are going at just a single speed. So we are pretty good shape. So we're going to do two things now to kind of reinforce what we've learned. One, I'm going to make this lowercase. And you think, oh, that should not cause a problem. But as you see here, KeyCode does not contain that definition. So we have to do something very specific, and that's not going to work. So we're going to do D here. We're going to move our speed also over here. So what we're going to try is doing a little bit different speeds. So I'm going to move this to 1. So we're going to go back. We're going to hit play. And oh, look how fast I'm moving until... Yeah, so you can definitely see how that works. We're going to just change this to 5 back there. We could use a variable float speed up here for everything. We're trying to keep this very simple. So we're just going to keep this at the moment as a speed of 5. So going back, we are in really good shape. And see, I have clicked something incorrect there. So let's go back here. Okay, my speed is in good shape. Let's try that again. There we go. I must have clicked something, but you didn't need. So the last things I'm going to do, I'm going to have this script up here for you guys. So if you need to have a chance to look at it, you can. Just to make sure if you are having a code and all of a sudden you are having some kind of error, you can kind of check it line for line. Pretty simple. And like I said, one of my biggest problems is there's so many different ways to code that someone else could use a completely different movement script that works just as well. So like I said, hopefully this is something that is simple enough for you guys that you can understand it, understand what we're doing, and kind of going from there. So thank you guys for joining this little tutorial. The next one that we're going to be doing, we're actually going to do some bullets. So we're going to find out how to make them and how to get them to go. So like I said, exciting stuff. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.